everyone. Happy Friday. It is a fantastic Friday. I'm Jo of SportsGrid. It's time for Puck It with Jo. We've got 8 games on the slate today. Super excited to get to these games. I think the underdogs, the dogs are barking in tonight's slate on the ice. And it's just a fantastic day. Brandon Staley, I can finally stop saying when is he going to be fired. Getting fired this morning. It's fantastic. I am so excited for my Chargers now. We have hope now for our future. But you guys, thank you for being here. Again, if you haven't checked out the SportsGrid app, make sure you go over and do so. You're missing out on so much, including following me over there for all of my videos in the NFL. Those shorts are uploaded. That's why I'm a couple minutes late. I was just finishing up a video for the Minnesota Vikings and Cincinnati Bengals game tomorrow. So that will be posted tomorrow. Make sure you check it out. You guys, I love that you guys are popping in here. Seeing those comments popping up. It's great to see. Raiders totally crushed it. Yeah, the Raiders totally crushed it. The Kraken were sick. Unbelievable. Never saw that coming. Yeah, it was a fantastic game. We had so many great games on the ice last night. Vasilevsky killed us all in that one. Just not what I expected to see out of there. But you guys, it's awesome to see you. Let's get some plus money. It's 10 days to Christmas. I cannot believe how quickly time is flying this month. But let's go. Let's look at the first game. Like I said, I think the dogs are barking and the Ducks are quacking. The Anaheim Ducks taking on the New York Rangers. This isn't because I have that much faith in the Ducks. My faith here is in the fact that the Rangers play the Boston Bruins tomorrow. Mistakenly in my head, I had the LA Kings in my head, but either way, the Kings or the Bruins, and it is the Bruins. I think this is a clear look-ahead spot for the New York Rangers. Now let's look at current odds here on this one. Let me just pull it up. All odds are over at FanDuel, you guys. The Anaheim Ducks at plus 250. Minus 315 for the Rangers, total 6.5. Now minus 122 to the under 6.5. The Ducks on the puck line is where I'm going to firstly put my money, plus 1.5 at plus 105. I do think they can keep this one tight with the New York Rangers. Now, remember, this is the New York Rangers team that has played in some tight games as of late. They're off the loss to the Toronto Maple Leafs in a game that they should have really being able to get the win. Toronto was on the back-to-back there. So I'm not loving what I'm seeing out of them. They allowed 7 goals in that last one to the Leafs. Now, Jonathan Quick expected in goal, and I do think he's been phenomenally strong in net. He's got a 2.20 goals against average, a .922 save percentage. Looking at the Anaheim Ducks, Dostal confirmed here. His numbers aren't great, you guys. 3.96 and .885. So he is going to have to get the support from the defense. The defense doesn't normally give him a lot, still allowing that 31.5 shots on goal per game, but their kill's pretty solid at 80.5. For the Ducks to be able to win this, they absolutely have to stay out of the box because the New York Rangers will capitalize on every single team that takes more penalty minutes than they do. So we're seeing the Rangers, as soon as they have that ability, they are converting. They're converting at 84.1%, 8th best overall in the league. And when we look across the board at the teams they beat, they have limited their minutes compared to that other team, and they took an advantage on that power play. So I do think with a power play of 30.5% here for the Rangers, the Ducks will be dead in the water the second that they get in that box. They have to play a clean game here. Now, this is a team that has lost their last 4 games. It hasn't been pretty. The Islanders was their last L that they got. That was a 4-3 loss on Wednesday. They've only won 1 of their last 10 games. So it's a team absolutely struggling, but I do think there's an opportunity here, at least to keep it tight. You look at that puck line on the road, they're sitting 6-4 on the road on the puck line this season. And the New York Rangers, while they're getting the wins at home, sitting 9-3 at home, looking at that puck line, only 3-7 from the puck line at home. So they're winning these ones by 1 goal. So I love that plus 1.5 at the value you're getting there. I do think this is a 4-3 style game. We have the over 6.5, I do think is in play, and we're getting plus money at plus 100 for the over 6.5. Now, this isn't because I don't have faith in Jonathan Quick. I just do think this is kind of a letdown spot, especially for the defense here of the New York Rangers with the Bruins on deck tomorrow. So let me know what you guys think in this one. I see all of your comments coming in here for sure. Kev, let's make some money today. I'm so glad that all your Twitter comments are coming in as well. So you guys keep commenting. Let me know any questions you have as well. Let's look at the Boston Bruins here, taking on the New York Islanders. Now, interesting matchup here. I really do like the Boston Bruins and the price we're getting them at. The Boston Bruins rolling in at minus 122 if I can talk. They were like minus 137 earlier in the day, so we're getting money on the New York Rangers at plus 102 right now for the Rangers, total of 5.5. Now that 5.5 is just to that over at minus 128, plus 104 to the under. If you think the Bruins can dominate in this one, cover that puck line the 1.5 is plus 198. The Islanders are not a team that I have a lot of faith in, but I do have faith in Sorokin. Now, Sorokin is confirmed in net for them. He's got a 3.11 goals against average and a .914 save percentage. He absolutely has to stand on his head tonight versus the Boston Bruins because his defense gives him no support whatsoever. They do allow him to be absolutely peppered out there on the ice, allowing an average of 35.6 shots on goal per game. I'd look at Sorokin's save shots on goal in this game. I'm going to see if I can slow down and pronounce my words, what his goalie number is here for his save shots on goal. I have his alt lines, total save shots, 28.5 is coming in at minus 112. Now, you look at that 28.5 at minus 112. The Boston Bruins are averaging 31.4 shots on goal. My only concern to extend this number, because I was looking to extend this, is we know Boston, once they get up in a game, they kind of, in some situations, hang back a little and play more of a strong defensive game so we don't get those shots rolling in. But I do think in this one, versus the Islanders, whose defense just completely doesn't even show up, allowing 35.6, we definitely go over that 28.5. Now, we can alt his numbers. I would feel comfortable up to 31 save shots on goals, coming in at plus 142 for Sorokin in this one. I'm comfortable with that. Anything over 31, I'm not comfortable because I do expect at least 35 shots. I don't see him allowing four at most, no more than 4. So 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. We're pushing it right there. Yes, I counted on my fingers to make sure I was 100% correct. We are pushing it right there, but I do think you can look at him for 31 plus save shots on goal. The over 28.5 is coming in at minus 112. So you're not laying that much juice, but the 31 is coming in at plus 142, and that's 31 plus. So he can save just right on that 31, and you won't push on that number. So I do like it there. Also, let's look here at the side. Where am I going to go? It's got to be Boston on the money line. A little worried, though, with how this number is rapidly dropping. It was minus 137 when I got it earlier in the day, now minus 122. So money is coming in on the New York Islanders. I do think that first period is a slow start. I would look at the under 1.5 in the first period. You're going to lay juice. So I do think the better way to go is a no goal in the first 10 minutes. You guys know I don't normally take that no goal in the first 10 minutes. It makes sense in this one. We have Ullmark versus Sorokin. So looking at this one, Ullmark coming in here with a 2.71 goals against average, a save percentage of 0.917. The no goal in the first 10 minutes between these two teams coming in at plus 110. It's my favorite bet of this game. I think defense is locked down right out of the gate. We know the Devils are off that overtime win. The Bruins are off the overtime win over the Devils. That was a 2-1 win. Now, the Islanders have been rolling so phenomenally hot. They've won their last 4 games. The last one on Wednesday over the Ducks, but it's the Ducks, you guys. And out of the last 5 games, 3 have gone to OT. So I'm looking for a little bit more of a tired offense in this one with so many games going to overtime as of late. I do think the Islanders give up so many chances on net. If we do see this one somehow go over that total, it is because the Islanders blow things out there and Sorokin has a bad night. But I do think this is one we look at the Bruins. So that is one favorite I'm liking. Let's look at the Nashville Predators taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. The Preds coming in here at plus 140 on the money line. Sign me up all day long. I know Carolina is a good team. They're coming home off a road trip, though, and they've had such a long, extended road trip up here in Canada, finishing in Ottawa after being in Alberta and BC. I feel for this team, and I feel for all the travel. They were on the ice last night as well. So short turnaround here. And yes, they got the win last night, but the Predators have been rolling hot as well. And at plus 140, it's the Preds in this one for me. Now, minus 170 if you want to back the Carolina Hurricanes, and total of 6.5 at minus 130 to the under. To the over, we're looking at plus 106. Now, it will be interesting. I'm going to stay off the total in this one because I do think we could see Carolina with tired legs off of that win last night be able to lock down in this game and play a stronger defensive game, where I think the Predators, they've been rolling hot. They've won their last two. They got that overtime win versus the Flyers. This is a team that gives up those opportunities, those shots on goal, but it is also a team that has been getting those goals. Now, Saros was expected. I found out right before coming on here, no confirmations on goaltenders. Lankaken is looking like now the expected goalie. I had more faith in Saros. You look at how hot he's been playing, 2.79 goals against average and a .910 save percentage. He has been playing so hot, winning 9 of his last 10 games out there on the ice. But Lankaken, I have faith in as well. And I have faith in this Predators team to be able to get things done. The last time these teams faced up was back last season, and we did see the Preds get the win 3-0 over the Canes. So this is the first night of a back-to-back here for the Predators. They are at home tomorrow versus the Washington Capitals. I got to have faith in them. This money line is coming down. We were getting plus 146, plus 148, plus 150 even earlier. Now plus 140, still so much value. This team is coming in with the rest advantage. With Saros, it was the goaltending advantage. Now I think Lankaken and Ranta, they pretty well match up nicely, but I just can't get behind the Canes team off this huge long road trip on the second night of a back-to-back. It's so much travel in a short turnaround time. I'm not buying into it. Riding with Buffalo, we're going to get to that one in just a second. Let's make some money, you guys. That's for sure. Okay, the next game on deck is the Ottawa Senators taking on the Dallas Stars. Now, over on FanDuel, we're looking here at the Ottawa Senators coming in at plus 172, minus 210 for the Dallas Stars, total of 6.5. Now, 6.5 to the over and under is minus 110 on either side of the puck. We got Forsberg versus Ottinger in this one. Right away, if you think the Ottawa Senators have a chance of winning this, you got to look at this one going over that 6.5. That's the only way I can see the Ottawa Senators beating the Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars have been phenomenally strong at home, sitting 7-5-1 at home so far this season. Now, they're 3-8, though, on that puck line. I do think the Ottawa Senators are the right side in this one, even with Forsberg in net. I don't have that much faith in Forsberg. He does let those pucks in, but I do think this is the first night of a back-to-back for the Dallas Stars. I think they might overlook the Ottawa Senators here, and I can't pass up on the value in this one. This is another team that has to stay out of the box, so if they want to win. It's going to be very hard to get that puck in the back of Jake Ottinger's net. We know how phenomenally strong he is. Jake Ottinger coming in here with a 2.85 goals against average and a save percentage of .904. Now, Forsberg, on the other hand, 3.03 with a .885 save percentage. Second night of a back-to-back for the Ottawa Senators, but they've lost their last 2 games. Last night's loss was to the St. Louis Blues, who fired their coach. So we kind of expected that one to come in. I do think we get the best out of the Ottawa Senators in this one. I think that first period is right away where we're going to isolate this total and to the over. I like that first period, over 1.5 here. It's a little juicy at minus 128, but I do think it comes in and cashes. And I think the Senators are right for the upset. Now, if you want to take them plus 1.5, I'm just getting those odds for you. Plus 1.5 for the Ottawa Senators is coming in at minus 137. I think that is definitely the play. The sprinkle on the money line as well, that first period over 1.5. And if you're with me in thinking that the Sens can pull off this upset, this has got to be a 4-3 style game, pushing us over that total. And that's because the Ottawa Senators just have the inability to stop the puck going in the back of their net, especially with Forsberg in. So they have to outplay them here offensively. If Dallas goes in the box, their kill is still super strong at 86.7%. So that is the only concern there. You've got to worry, especially with Ottawa, with how many penalties they get. But let's move on to the next game, you guys. Again, we got 8 to go over. We got 2 left on the slate. Let's look at the San Jose Sharks taking on the Arizona Coyotes. Now, odds over on FanDuel right now, plus 164 here for the Sharks, minus 200 for the Arizona Coyotes. Who wants to put minus 200 on the Coyotes? I don't. You guys know I love this team, and I love how young, fast this team is. You got Keller over there, Logan Cooley. This team can be dangerous. The Sharks have proven they can be dangerous too. They're coming in at plus 164 on the money line. Sign me up. Plus 1.5 on that puck line, minus 150. I don't love how much juice we're going to lay there, but I do think we could almost build a puck line dog parlay, taking all of them plus the 1.5, and you probably have a really good chance of cashing tonight. That total is 6.5 at minus 118 to the under, minus 104 to the over. Now, Connor Ingram expected in net for the Arizona Coyotes. This is a team that's lost their last 4 games. The last 3 were on the road, so they're returning home from that road trip. The Predators was their the Pittsburgh Penguins was their last loss. That was a 4-2 loss. I do think we get a bounce back in this one where we see more goals out of the Arizona Coyotes, but it's kind of crazy. I was looking at the goals and what those odds were for those team totals. When we look at the Arizona Coyotes, it is a 3.5, but we can get the San Jose Sharks here over 2.5 at minus 118. It seems way too good to be true. The Sharks won all 3 games last season versus the Arizona Coyotes. And this is a new, improved Arizona Coyotes team, but they still got swept last year by the Sharks. And now when we look at their last 10 matchups, this Sharks team has had 3 or more goals in 8 of the last 10. So getting a team total of the Sharks over 2.5 at minus 118, like I said, really seems like free money in this one. The Arizona Coyotes, even with Connor Ingram, still can't keep anything out of the net. They're allowing 32.3 shots on goal. Their kill is really strong at 80%. But we have a Sharks team that has beaten some better teams here than the Coyotes. Now the Coyotes in Mullet Arena, it will be a little bit trickier, but they did it last season, the Sharks. And you look at these teams, they turn back around and they play on Thursday in San Jose. So yes, these teams could split, but I'm telling you, I got to ride the Sharks with the value we're getting in this one. I think the first period over 1.5 is extreme value as well at minus 128, and the both teams to score. I don't see that puck staying out of the back of the net. I think we see 2 goals, 1 out of each of these guys in that first period, that coming in at plus 172. You got to look at the defenses here, or the lack of defense, I should say, out of both of these teams, and expect those goals to come in. Yeah, I like the over as well, Doug. And you're liking the Sharks with that plus money. How can we not love the Sharks with that plus money? And Ranta can be strong, but I tell you guys, he can also let in a lot as well. Bruins under, Stars on the money line. I love when you guys are dropping your plays here. Stars are going to wreck the Senators. They absolutely could, but I could also see a storyline where the Senators get a nice big win, break that losing streak. Last game, Buffalo Sabres taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. Let's look at current odds over on FanDuel. With the Buffalo Sabres plus 168, minus 205 here. For the Vegas Golden Knights, total is 6.5. Juice to the under at minus 118 and minus 104 to that over. Now, if you think Vegas is going to dominate and cover that puck line, minus 1.5 at plus 126. Buffalo Sabres plus 1.5 at minus 152. Now, first, let's look at how these teams have done on the puck line. We're looking at a Buffalo Sabres team that's 14-11 on the puck line on the season. It's playing in some pretty tight games, but on the road, even stronger numbers, 9-5 on the puck line on the road. We look at the Vegas Golden Knights here. They haven't gone above 500 on that puck line. At home, sitting 6-7 on the puck line, 12-14 on the puck line for the season overall. I do trust in the Buffalo Sabres here to be able to cover that puck line. And yes, I know versus the Avs, I did think they would have better success, and they were only able to get 1 goal, and the Avs did get 5. We got that first period with the Colorado Avalanche. I expected more out of the Buffalo Sabres after that, and we didn't. They kind of fell flat in that game. I do think the Sabres plus the 1.5 if you're putting it in a parlay piece, is nice. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line. I'm going to look at those team totals as well in this one. You can look at the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, we know Vegas has been putting up these goals and putting them up nicely. They've won their last 4 games. Overtime win versus Calgary, 5-4 on Tuesday. We also look at that team total, 3.5 for Vegas. I can't remember the last time, honestly, you guys, where we didn't see Vegas just dominating offensively and finding the back of the net. So I think it's a nice way to look at -128. It does hold value to me, but I do like better the Buffalo Sabres team total here over 2.5. We're laying less juice at -112. And I do think they'll get 3 goals. Even though it is Logan Thompson here, I think we're going to see that offensive firepower out of the Buffalo Sabres that we know that they have. Yes, only 1 goal versus the Avs, but I do think we find a couple more goals in this one. I think they have the opportunity to be able to pull off the win. Last 2 games for Vegas have gone to OT. They got the win over the Sharks in overtime. It was a 5-4 shootout win. If the Sharks can push Vegas to overtime, I think we can see that here as well for the Buffalo Sabres, especially looking at the schedule on deck here for the Vegas Golden Knights. You look at the Vegas Golden Knights, and these are the teams they have to play before Christmas. They face the Senators on Sunday, the Carolina Hurricanes, and the Lightning, and the Panthers. It's a hard schedule ahead of them. This will be their easiest game unless the Senators kind of fall apart. But I do think this one here is a game that they might overlook Buffalo in this one. It's the first night of a back-to-back for the Buffalo Sabres. They play the Arizona Coyotes tomorrow. Now, the Coyotes play tomorrow or tonight as well. So I'm already looking ahead at the Arizona Coyotes. I like them better on the first night or the second night of a back-to-back than I do on this Buffalo Sabres team. I'm also looking for that game right away to go over 1.5 tomorrow. So make sure you circle that first period. I also think that one goes over the total of 6.5. I don't have current lines on that one yet for you guys, but I'm sure you can look it up. So that is everything, you guys. Let me know what you're liking on the ice tonight. It's definitely a nice opportunity to make some money. Sabres on that money line. You gotta love that money line value. Over with Forsberg, yeah, with the Ottawa Senators and Forsberg in net, you got to take the over. Sharks as well on that puck line. I love where you guys are going. We're going to make some money tonight. I can feel it. It's a great day. Let's do a quick recap here of the bets, and then I'll let you guys get on your way. It's almost 6 o'clock. It's crazy. I don't know where the day goes. So 6 o'clock Eastern almost. Okay, we're going to look at the first game, the Anaheim Ducks, New York Rangers. I think the Ducks are quacking tonight, +1.5 for the Ducks. Sprinkle on the money line. I think the Rangers are in a clear look ahead with the Boston Bruins on deck tomorrow. The Ducks have to stay out of the box or they're dead. Over 6.5, I also like. I do think we could see no, I'm not going to touch the first period. The Boston Bruins versus the New York Islanders. It's got to be the Bruins at this price for me. I know the Islanders are rolling hot. I don't have that much faith in this team. I do have faith in Sorokin, though. I'm looking at his save shots on goal over that 28.5. Like I said, I would fire it all the way up to 31 plus save shots on goal. You're getting beautiful plus money at that. But the over 28.5, I believe, was -112. We found no goals in the first 10 minutes. I love for this game. We're getting plus money at +110. That's probably my favorite bet of this game. The Nashville Predators and the Carolina Hurricanes. I think the Preds here can get the win on the road. We've got Carolina Hurricanes team returning from a long road trip. I don't have faith in them. Second night of a back-to-back off that win the last night. I do think this is a nice letdown spot for them. And the Predators have been rolling hot. No one is talking about this team. So the Predators on the money line, they have the better goalie and they come in rested. Well, better goalie if it's Saros. If it's Lankin, I still think he can do enough. The Ottawa Senators versus the Dallas Stars. This could be a game where the Stars come out and completely dominate, but I have a feeling Ottawa's due for a nice big game. We know how strong this team can be offensively, and that's how they have to get this win. So if you're looking at this one, what the safest bet, I think the over 6.5 is my favorite bet in this game. I am going to sprinkle a little bit on the Ottawa Senators on that money line. It just screams value to me. The +1.5 on the puck line as well. I love that first period over 1.5. I think there's so much value at -128. The San Jose Sharks and the Arizona Coyotes, again, give me a high-scoring game. I think both of these teams find success. The value is on the Sharks tonight, and that's where I'll be putting my money. You can take them plus 1.5 on the puck line. You're laying too much juice. I'm just going to sprinkle on the money line. My favorite bet of this game is the team total for the San Jose Sharks, over 2.5. That coming in at minus 118. The first period, over 1.5, coming in at minus 128. And both teams to score in the first period at plus 172. The over 6.5, of course. And then the Buffalo Sabres and the Vegas Golden Knights. Give me the Buffalo Sabres plus the 1.5. It's juicy. That's a parlay piece. Sprinkle on that money line. I think they have every opportunity to pull off a 4-3 win in this one. So I'm going to take their team total over 2.5 because win or lose, I do think that is the best bet. Over 2.5 here for the Buffalo Sabres. We know Tage Thompson can come out nice and strong. That coming in at minus 112. If you like Vegas, you can take their team total over 3.5. We know this is being cashing nonstop, the team total for Vegas. So I don't hate it either, but I do smell another over, feel another over in this game. I think this is another 4-3 game. I think I'm going to go in and put some bets on final scores 4-3. In these games, I think the Buffalo Sabres and the Vegas Golden Knights 4-3. The San Jose Sharks and the Arizona Coyotes 4-3 or 5-4. That's going to be a higher scoring one. 4-3 as well for the Ottawa Senators and the Dallas Stars, Nashville Predators, Carolina Hurricanes, and then I'm staying off the other two. So you guys, all the best in all your bets. Let's make some freaking money out there on the ice. Boston and the Islanders over. Oh, that's scary with Ullmark and Sorokin, but you could see it really happen, especially if one of these goalies has an off night. That's for sure. Okay. Yeah, you guys, if you could hit that like button, hit that retweet button. I appreciate it so very much. Yeah, Doug, I wear a lot of black. What can I say? This is just what I end up wearing. You guys, all the best. Let's make some freaking money out there on the ice. We have Saturday football, so don't forget, go over, download the SportsGrid app. On the app, you will be able to see all of my shorts in the videos. I just made one, sent it over to the team for the Minnesota Vikings versus the Cincinnati Bengals. It's all smiles today, you guys. The Chargers have fired Brandon Staley. It's the best day ever. You guys have a great evening, all of you. Number one pick of play of the day. That's hard. Say my number one pick, it's got to be one of these dogs. I really do think the dogs are barking tonight. It's hard to narrow it down to just one, but if I had to narrow it down to just one, it is the Nashville Predators. I look at this team and I don't know why people are overlooking this team. You look at them here, they're sitting 16-13 on the season, 6-7 on the road. So not the best road record, but they're facing a Carolina Hurricanes team that is off a huge, long road trip. They had to travel all throughout Canada. They had to travel out to Ottawa to play last night, and then they turn around, and this is less than 24 hours. They've got to play again versus the Preds. So I do think this is a huge letdown spot for Carolina. I think we have to target the Predators in this one. Favorite bet of the game. Thanks for making me say my favorite. You guys, all the best. Let's make some freaking money. I will see you back here tomorrow. Turn on those notifications too so you guys know when I go live. All the best, you guys.